Welcome to the News at 10. We begin tonight with the next chapter in the Interfaith Sanctuary saga.
The Boise Planning and Zoning Commission met tonight and is still meeting to consider the shelter's conditional use permit for a proposed move to State Street in West Boise. Our Katia Stepovic has been at that meeting tonight. She joins us live now at City Hall. Katia, there's been a lot of debate over moving the shelter and even some pushback from those who lived near it. Did tonight sort anything out at City Hall?
Well, unfortunately not yet. Actually, the hearing is just now wrapping up, and like you said, it was an expected heated debate both between neighborhood associations and of course Interfaith, so much so that after 4 hours public testimony was not even heard tonight. But let's get into what we do know tonight. Interfaith initially planned on submitting an application for a conditional use permit back in April, but they agreed to pause it following Mayor McLean's request. Because there was so much opposition to the move, a Shelter Better task force was created to try and come up with a perfect location. But after 2 months of meeting, that didn't happen because the task force, quote, couldn't find available affordable building that was zoned to be a shelter. Both Boise Fire Department and Boise Police and the Boise Library voiced their support on approving the permit tonight. And while there's still a ton of support, there is a lot of opposition.
And at some point, guests would be asked to leave. Now, the responses Interfaith has provided throughout the public hearing process has said we'll offer transport to a different facility, but by nature you are allowed to decline an offer for transport. And so we believe that people who choose to leave or who are asked to leave may have a higher likelihood of staying in the immediate area, especially as nighttime transit connectivity is very poor. So there's good access to the Greenbelt and well-screened areas where people may choose to camp or on lawns or businesses in the surrounding area. They shelter for 205 beds, whereas they currently serve 245. So I think it's reasonable to assume that demand for shelter services may exceed capacity on any given day.
24/7 means a reduction in trauma, a reduction in survival crimes, a reduction in the need to loiter, a reduction to find a place to go to the bathroom, a reduction in all the things that are taken away from humans when they're placed out on the street all day and asked to figure it out.
Tonight's meeting was about finding out from Boise Police if they have concerns about policing a homeless shelter in West Boise, and also to address concerns by a group opposing the move who say that shelters' rooms, they're not big enough to handle the number of homeless families who they believe will be there, calling the plan for the rooms jail cell sized.
Moving into this 30,000 square foot building with private rooms and private family units and a medical dorm and single beds over bunk beds. This is a very humane, dignified, and graceful way to serve a population that needs to be served longer now because access to housing, the wait lists for housing, they're much longer. They're going to be with us for 1 to 2 years.
Now, because there was no public testimony heard by the Planning and Zoning Commission tonight, they will continue this hearing on December 6th. So this is a long process to come. Mark and Kim.
Yeah, and it's still a long ways to go before it does get sorted out. Katia, thanks.